What you're looking at here is referred to as the unfinished northern pyramid of Zayet el Aryan, or the Pyramid of Baka. And when I tell you what the Egyptian authorities have done to this site, you're going to be really upset. So first of all, look at these incredible photos of something that you've never even seen or heard of before, at least not likely to have, because this has been off limits to tourists and any type of excavation since it was placed around a military or within a military compound back in the 1960s. Now, as you look at this giant corridor, which is more than 75 feet deep, this is carved out of not dirt, not sandstone, but solid limestone bedrock, which raises all kinds of questions on how the dynastic Egyptians could have done this. Because although, yes, the Egyptians did have bronze chisels, which can cut through limestone, it's unbelievably difficult, and it's not a practical use whatsoever because you're going to wear down that bronze chisel or pickaxe so unbelievably quick. Which raises the question on why are we not finding hundreds, if not thousands, of discarded, worn out bronze chisels and pickaxes throughout ancient Egypt, or this site particularly. Now, first of all, let's just debunk the fact that it's being referred to as an unfinished pyramid. Many in the mainstream claim that it was, although others have said no, it's very likely that it wasn't a pyramid. Case in point, well, it's in the shape of a parallelogram. Find me one other pyramid anywhere in the world that is in the shape of a parallelogram. Not to mention, although other pyramids have these subterranean shafts, they're incredibly small, you can't even stand up within them, and this is clearly something completely different. But what makes this even more incredible is the size of the granite stones that were placed on the floor of this temple or corridor. I mean, look, they refer to this as a tomb, as that this was a sarcophagus, as you see this oval type, bathtub or sarcophagus. I mean, that's what they're referring to it as. I don't think that's what it was. And many others have suggested that it was something else, maybe something ceremonial, maybe some sort of site used to look at the cosmos and, who knows what. Tons of speculation. Nobody knows because there's no other site like it. There's no other sarcophagus in Egypt that is in the oval shape of this. And one of the things that makes this site so interesting, besides the fact that it's dug 75 feet deep into solid limestone bedrock, is that when you see these shaded flooring granite blocks on the flooring here, that's rose granite. So part of the site is regular granite, but those shaded parts are rose granite, which the closest site in Egypt where these could have come from is from Elephantine Island, more than 500 miles away from the pyramids of Giza, which, by the way, I almost forgot to mention. This site is located approximately 5 miles southwest of the pyramids of Giza. And when you consider just how massive these blocks are, I mean, we're talking 15 feet long, 8 feet high, 5 feet wide, and then compare that to the 100-ton stone boxes found at the Serapeum outside of Cairo, Egypt. I mean, we're talking 30 tons for the solid stone lid and 70 tons for the boxes. I mean, does anyone watching this have an estimate on how much something like that would weigh? I mean, that could easily be 100 tons apiece. But why would they go to such an incredible length to carry these massive stone blocks down this causeway? Which, by the way, one of the stone blocks is a complete mystery because it's so large that they know it could not have made the corner once it got into this T-shaped area. So how did they bring it down there? I mean, obviously they must have lifted it down while it's being constructed. I mean, it's one of the mysteries of this site. Now, the site was first excavated by an Italian archaeologist in 1905, and as you see these photographs, they were taken in 1905, and some of them were taken in 1921. And the only other pictures of this site since then is from 1954, when Hollywood paid a visit to this site to shoot it for a movie called The Land of the Pharaohs. And you can see here it's been digitally remastered into color, and these are all the photos that exist of the site. Not since 1964 has anyone been allowed to visit it, because it's now within a military compound. Tourism is prohibited. Archaeologists' excavations are completely prohibited. And here's the part that's going to make you really upset. So the Egyptian authorities have been utilizing this site as a local dump. No joke. Inside this military compound, they are throwing trash into it. They are allowing the wind to carry the sands into it so they don't have to utilize any type of heavy machinery to cover up the trash. And it's since been filled up. And here you can see an aerial photo of what it looks like today. Completely unrecognizable. And to quote some German archaeologists, the status of the burial shaft is now uncertain and most likely disastrous. Guys, I'm not so sure this was a burial chamber of any kind. I mean, I can't say it's not. I'm not going to tell you it wasn't. I mean, how do I know? But there's something really odd about this. It almost looks like some sort of industrial grade something. I mean, why? It's one thing to line the floor with granite blocks. I mean, why would they choose blocks that are so unbelievably massive? Again, 15 feet, which is 4.5 meters, by 8 feet, which is 5 meters, and by 5 feet in height, or deep, I should say. And not to mention, this, when you look at this oval sarcophagus or bathtub, whatever you want to call it, again, I think it was something else. What exactly? I have no idea. It's just that when I look at this site, and you got to keep in mind, as you see this stone block here that was laid down horizontally as they found it, they feel like it was part of something else. They have no idea if there was a roof to this structure, but there has been much debate within mainstream itself saying that, well, we just don't know what this was. And there's a lot of reasons to suggest that maybe it wasn't a chamber or a burial chamber whatsoever. I mean, after all, when they found this site, the cover was sealed shut, and when they opened it, there was no body in it. So, I mean, come on, like, why is it that they haven't found a single tomb within any pyramid or this site, yet there's something called the Valley of the Kings, which is just loaded with incredible artifacts? And how many kings have they found in there? Dozens and dozens, and they keep finding new ones. So, I don't know, there's just a big hole missing in this story, clearly. And keep in mind, they have found almost nothing in this site whatsoever. As you see here, these are just some inscriptions that they found on some tablets in there, and that's it. So besides the fact that the Egyptian authorities are clearly, I mean, you could call this a cover-up. I mean, even literally, not just figuratively. I mean, they're burying the site with trash. I mean, what is that about? And this is something that's so incredible. I mean, again, when you look at these walls here, it is unbelievably deep. It's just awe-inspiring on how did they do this? Why did they do this? Anyways, guys, look at these photos. Let me know what you think. I mean, honestly, I think we're looking at something just incredible. We have to really utilize our imaginations to think about what this may have been so many thousands of years ago. And we also have to open and entertain the possibility that this dates pre-cataclysm. I mean, there is evidence here that the dynastic Egyptians have visited the site and utilized it for something. But again, how did they cut and carve through solid limestone bedrock this deep into this precision? Why did they go to such incredible length to cut and carve and move granite stone blocks from as far away as 500 miles? Just to line the flooring with this? I mean, and again, an oval sarcophagus or bathtub, whatever you want to call it. I don't know, guys. I think we're looking at something absolutely incredible that goes far beyond, well, what the mainstream archaeologists and Egyptologists have been stating. And again, why on earth would they prevent tourism? Why would they prevent excavations? Why would they bury the site with trash? Think about that. Anyways, guys, I'll leave it at that. I'm Jimmy. This is Bright Insight. Like and subscribe, and I have many other videos to come on a whole wide variety of topics. Take care, everybody.